Our final speaker on the Youth Ally panel is Flossie Baker, the lead organizer from the Sierra Club BC. Flossie is a climate justice organizer, and her passion is supporting different communities to engage in building a new story about the future we face. She trained as a community organizer under the Industrial Areas Foundation, the oldest community organizing network in North America, and brings stories and lessons in organizing across the world, from the UK, from San Francisco, from Victoria and Vancouver. And she now focuses on building the relationships with unions and faith traditions. Flossie, thank you so much for joining us. It's always awesome to see you. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Yusuf. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sonia, Nikki, for all the heart that you just brought to the last 20 minutes. I'm calling in from unceded Musqueam, Squamish and Tsleil-Waututh territory today, and I'm representing Sierra Club BC, which is one of this province's oldest environmental organizations. And with that comes a lot of responsibility, working with an institution that is that old. I think we're 51 years old. Comes with a lot of painful baggage, and it has a lot of repair work to do. And so before I start, I just want to post a document called Balancing the Canoe in the chat box, which is Sierra Club's accountability statement, accountability document, recognizing our role in calling for the creation of national parks, which disregarded a lot of Indigenous jurisdiction and governance. So I'm just going to pop that in the chat right now. It's great to gather with you all in this very heavy week. The RCMP raids at Fairy Creek, the IPCC report. I spent most evenings so far just curled up on the couch, exhausted at 5 o'clock and not wanting to go outside and not wanting to face the world. And so it's really good to be with you all today. And the last few speakers have used the word gift, so I guess that's where I'll pick up. I think it's really terrifying, and it's also a gift to be alive at this time in history. And that is the idea of gifts, and everyone having a special gift to bring at this time is an idea that Sierra Club is really holding on strongly to. We believe that everyone does have a gift to offer at this time, and if that gift can be given in the name of the earth, if that gift can be given brought to life with a climate justice lens, then the climate movement will grow quickly and fast, and the ground will be a lot more fertile for bold climate policy to be implemented. And so a lot of what we do is really trying to expand what climate action looks like, to get people's imagination beyond just advocating colonial governments. So that's important too, but we have to also look beyond that. And so a lot of what we're spending our time doing now is helping our thousands of members across the province develop a more reciprocal relationship with the plants and the animals that they live among, and to learn more about the traditional territories, the traditional knowledge and the protocol of the land that they're on. If climate change is in many ways a symptom of our disconnection and of a colonial capitalist worldview, then working to try and heal that connection and shift that worldview is a really important piece of the work that needs to be done. And ultimately, as Sonia said, it comes down to building better relationships with the land and with each other. And maybe if more and more of the general population can do that, then all this bold climate policy that keeps getting written but not implemented will eventually be implemented. And so if there's any way that Sierra Club is trying to be a youth ally at this time, it's really working with its thousands of adult members to try and help them unlearn a particular kind of worldview that they grew up with, and invite them to try on a different pair of glasses and learn a different, and kind of take on a different lens with which to see the world. And I'll pause there for now.
Thank you so much, Flossie. I know it must have been a very difficult week for you. And one of the challenges, I will say, in this work, as well as in a lot of the work that my colleagues and I and a lot of us on this call do, especially at the intersection of a lot of social and environmental issues, is how to keep the spirits alive and how to stay, how to stay optimistic and motivated when we're bombarded with challenges, when we see our friends being arrested, when we see, entire forests being cut down, or where we see a lot of the relentlessness of negativity. I will say that the antidote to that is really the faces on this call here, which is the people who are sparks of passion and sparks of bringing together folks to really address these shared challenges. So, one of the things I highly, highly respect about what you said is to acknowledge, organizational mistakes in the past. Like I personally view cancel culture as a mistake. I think that the opportunity for redemption is a much stronger avenue for social change. So what Sierra Club is doing to help revitalize their mission going forward and acknowledge the work with the First Nations community that needs to be done, I think that is a very noble thing. So thank you, Flossie. The challenges that we're all facing collectively, we're also all supporting each other collectively. So we really appreciate you sharing your voice with us tonight. Our youth allies, I'm sure, would also appreciate that, they can look up to the lived experience of people who've been doing this and who can learn from that and move forward. Again, really appreciate that. Thank you, Flossie.